Have you ever wondered what it would feel like to stand in a place where civilization first learned to write its story? A land where mighty kings believed death was only the beginning, where rivers gave birth to kingdoms, and where monuments built thousands of years ago still challenge the imagination of modern engineers. Imagine a country where every sunrise illuminates ancient temples, every grain of desert sand hides forgotten legends, and every bend of a timeless river reveals another chapter of humanity's greatest adventure. This is not simply a journey across a nation. It is a journey through more than 5,000 years of history, mystery, discovery, and wonder. Welcome to Egypt, where the past is never truly gone, and every horizon whispers the secrets of eternity. From high above, Egypt appears as a remarkable contrast between two worlds. Endless golden deserts stretch toward the horizon in every direction, interrupted only by a brilliant ribbon of emerald green. That ribbon is the Nile, the longest river in Africa and the heartbeat of an entire civilization. For thousands of years, this extraordinary river transformed one of the harshest landscapes on Earth into a flourishing homeland where cities, temples, and kingdoms could rise against the odds. Egypt occupies one of the most fascinating locations on the planet. It stands at the meeting point of Africa and Asia, while opening its northern shores to the Mediterranean Sea. Throughout history, merchants, explorers, conquerors, and pilgrims crossed this natural gateway, bringing new ideas, cultures, religions, and technologies. Every empire that dreamed of controlling the ancient world understood one simple truth. Whoever controlled Egypt possessed one of history's greatest crossroads. Yet, nature itself shaped Egypt's destiny long before any king wore a crown. More than 95% of the country is covered by desert, where scorching temperatures and endless dunes create landscapes of breathtaking beauty and unforgiving isolation. At first glance, this environment seems incapable of supporting life. But every year, for thousands of years, the Nile flooded its banks, depositing rich black soil that transformed barren land into fertile fields. These annual floods became nature's greatest gift, allowing agriculture to flourish and making permanent settlements possible. The ancient Egyptians understood that the Nile was far more than a river. It was a divine force that sustained every aspect of life. Farmers carefully observed its seasonal rhythm, priests honored it through sacred ceremonies, and rulers built entire kingdoms upon its dependable waters. Villages expanded into cities, cities evolved into powerful kingdoms, and those kingdoms united to form one of the world's first great civilizations. More than 5,000 years ago, around 3100 BC, Egypt emerged as one of humanity's earliest unified nations. Under the legendary King Nama, Upper and Lower Egypt became one kingdom, marking the beginning of a civilization that would endure for millennia. While many ancient cultures disappeared beneath the weight of time, Egypt continued to evolve, preserving traditions, beliefs, and achievements that still influence the modern world. The Egyptian civilization quickly became a beacon of innovation. Its architects transformed stone into masterpieces that still inspire awe today. Its mathematicians mastered precise measurements long before modern technology existed. Its astronomers studied the stars with remarkable accuracy, creating calendars that guided farming, religious festivals, and daily life. Physicians developed surprisingly advanced medical practices, while artists decorated temples and tombs with colorful scenes that continue to survive after thousands of years. Perhaps nothing represents ancient Egypt more than its extraordinary writing system. Hieroglyphs were far more than decorative symbols carved into temple walls. Every figure, animal, bird, and object carried meaning, allowing scribes to record history, religious beliefs, royal decrees, scientific knowledge, and personal stories. These elegant symbols covered monuments across the land, preserving voices that would remain silent for centuries until scholars finally unlocked their meaning through the discovery of the Rosetta Stone. Religion shaped nearly every aspect of Egyptian life. The ancient Egyptians believed that existence continued beyond death, and this belief inspired some of history's most extraordinary achievements. Life on Earth was considered only one chapter of an eternal journey. Preparing for the afterlife became one of the civilization's greatest priorities, leading to magnificent temples, elaborate burial rituals, and monumental tombs designed to last forever. Among these traditions, mummification became one of the most remarkable practices ever developed. Skilled embalmers spent weeks preserving the human body with incredible precision. Carefully wrapped in layers of linen, accompanied by precious treasures and sacred objects, each mummy represented the hope that its owner would live again in another world. Today, thousands of years later, many of these remarkable remains still survive, offering scientists an extraordinary window into ancient life. The rulers of Egypt, known as pharaohs, were considered far more than political leaders. They were believed to be living connections between humanity and the gods. Their responsibility extended beyond governing cities and armies. They maintained harmony between heaven and earth, ensuring prosperity, protecting their people, and honoring divine traditions through magnificent temples and monuments. Their greatest legacy still dominates Egypt's skyline today. Massive structures built with astonishing precision continue to raise questions that fascinate historians, archaeologists, engineers, and travelers alike. Without modern cranes, computers, or heavy machinery, ancient builders transported enormous blocks of stone across vast distances, creating monuments that have survived earthquakes, invasions, floods, and the relentless passage of time. Yet Egypt is far more than its ancient wonders. It is a nation where bustling modern cities stand beside timeless monuments. Traditional sailboats still glide peacefully across the Nile, while contemporary skylines rise beyond the horizon. Vibrant markets overflow with spices, handcrafted art, colorful fabrics, and the sounds of everyday life. Across villages and cities alike, generations continue traditions that have been passed from parent to child for centuries. Beyond the fertile Nile Valley lies another Egypt waiting to be discovered. Endless deserts reveal surreal rock formations sculpted by millions of years of wind. Hidden oases bloom unexpectedly beneath towering palm trees. Rugged mountains guard sacred monasteries, while crystal-clear waters along the Red Sea conceal spectacular coral reefs filled with some of the richest marine life on Earth. Every landscape offers a completely different chapter of this remarkable country. What makes Egypt truly unforgettable is not only the beauty of its monuments, but the incredible stories they preserve. Every temple tells of powerful gods and legendary rulers. Every tomb reveals dreams of immortality. Every city reflects centuries of triumph, transformation, and resilience. Here, history is not locked away inside museums. It surrounds you at every moment, woven into the landscape itself. As the golden light of the setting sun spreads across the desert, ancient stones begin to glow with warm shades of amber and gold, just as they have done for thousands of years. The same sun that illuminated the age of the pharaohs still rises above these timeless horizons, reminding every visitor that some places never lose their magic. Our journey through Egypt is only beginning. Ahead lie magnificent pyramids that continue to puzzle the world. Colossal temples carved with astonishing detail, forgotten cities buried beneath drifting sands, vibrant coastal paradises beside the Red Sea, sacred mountains filled with spiritual history, and countless hidden treasures waiting to be explored. Together, we will travel across one of the greatest civilizations ever created and discover why, after more than 5,000 years, Egypt continues to captivate the imagination of the entire world. The first light of dawn slowly spreads across the Nile, casting a golden glow over a city where every sunrise awakens thousands of years of history. Ancient minarets echo with the call to prayer as modern skyscrapers begin to shimmer beneath the desert sun. Ferries glide across the river, while millions of people prepare for another day in one of the largest and most fascinating cities on Earth. This is Cairo, a place where every street tells a different story, where civilizations have left their mark for centuries, and where the ancient and the modern exist side by side in remarkable harmony. Often called the mother of the world, Cairo is far more than Egypt's capital. It is the cultural, political, and historical heart of the nation, home to more than 20 million people, and one of the oldest continuously inhabited metropolitan regions in the world. Every neighborhood reveals another layer of history, from ancient Islamic architecture to elegant European boulevards and vibrant modern districts that continue to shape Egypt's future. The city stands proudly on the banks of the legendary Nile River, whose waters have sustained life here for thousands of years. Long before modern roads and highways connected Egypt, the Nile served as the country's greatest transportation route, carrying merchants, explorers, priests and pharaohs between distant cities. Even today, the river remains the heartbeat of Cairo, offering a peaceful contrast to the energetic rhythm of life unfolding along its shores. As morning unfolds, Cairo awakens with extraordinary energy. Streets quickly fill with colorful taxis, local buses, motorcycles and pedestrians weaving through the bustling avenues. The sound of car horns blends with conversations from street cafes, while the aroma of freshly baked bread, roasted coffee, and fragrant spices drifts through the warm air. Every corner offers a glimpse into everyday Egyptian life, where tradition and progress continue to move forward together. One of the city's greatest treasures lies within its historic heart. Islamic Cairo is a living museum where magnificent mosques, ancient schools, medieval gates, and beautifully preserved buildings transport visitors back nearly 1,000 years. Narrow stone streets wind through neighborhoods filled with intricate wooden balconies, elegant courtyards, and towering minarets that dominate the skyline. Every building reflects the artistic brilliance of generations who transformed Cairo into one of the greatest centers of Islamic civilization. Among these architectural masterpieces rises the magnificent Mosque of Muhammad Ali, perched atop the historic citadel of Saladin. Its graceful domes and slender minarets overlook the entire city, offering breathtaking panoramic views that stretch from the crowded streets below to the distant pyramids standing proudly on the horizon. Inside, sunlight filters through sparkling chandeliers and stained glass, creating an atmosphere of serenity amid the city's endless movement. No visit to Cairo is complete without stepping into the legendary Khan el-Khalili Bazaar. For more than 6 centuries, this remarkable marketplace has welcomed traders from across Africa, Asia, and Europe. Wandering through its maze of narrow alleyways feels like entering another era. Shopkeepers proudly display handcrafted jewelry, colorful lanterns, aromatic perfumes, traditional clothing, leather goods, spices, and intricate copper artwork. Every conversation becomes part of a centuries-old tradition of friendly bargaining, where smiles and stories are exchanged as naturally as goods themselves. Hidden among the lively streets are traditional cafes where time appears to slow down. Here, locals gather over cups of sweet mint tea or strong Egyptian coffee while sharing conversations that often continue for hours. The scent of flavored shisha fills the air as musicians perform traditional melodies, preserving cultural traditions that have united generations of Cairenes for centuries. Yet perhaps no place captures Egypt's incredible history more completely than the Egyptian Museum. For generations, this extraordinary institution has safeguarded one of the world's greatest collections of ancient artifacts. Walking through its halls is like traveling directly into the age of the pharaohs. Towering statues, beautifully carved sarcophagi, delicate jewelry, royal furniture, and perfectly preserved papyrus scrolls reveal the extraordinary achievements of one of history's greatest civilizations. Among its countless treasures, none is more famous than the collection of Tutankhamun. The young king's golden funeral mask has become one of humanity's most recognizable symbols. Crafted with astonishing detail from solid gold and precious stones, it reflects not only remarkable artistic skill, but also the ancient Egyptian belief that beauty could accompany the soul into eternity. Surrounding the mask are thousands of objects discovered inside the king's tomb, including ceremonial chariots, elegant furniture, jewelry, weapons, clothing, and everyday possessions that remained untouched for more than 3,000 years. Today, many of Egypt's greatest archaeological treasures are also displayed inside the magnificent Grand Egyptian Museum near the Giza Plateau. Designed as one of the largest archaeological museums ever built, this extraordinary complex presents ancient Egypt through modern technology, immersive exhibitions, and breathtaking architecture, offering visitors an entirely new way to experience the country's remarkable heritage. Beyond its monuments and museums, Cairo thrives because of its people. The city's warmth comes from its vibrant communities, where hospitality remains one of Egypt's greatest traditions. Visitors are often welcomed with genuine smiles, friendly conversations, and invitations to share local food or tea. Whether navigating crowded markets or quiet residential neighborhoods, one quickly discovers that Cairo's greatest treasure is the generosity of its people. As afternoon fades into evening, the city begins another transformation. The golden sunlight reflects beautifully across the Nile, while elegant feluccas drift peacefully along the river with their white sails catching the evening breeze. Families gather in riverside parks, musicians entertain visitors along bustling promenades, and cafes become lively gathering places as the city's nightlife slowly comes alive. The Cairo Tower rises high above the skyline, offering one of the most spectacular panoramic views in Egypt. From its observation deck, the immense scale of Cairo becomes truly astonishing. Endless neighborhoods stretch toward the horizon, interrupted only by the winding Nile, and on clear days, the distant silhouette of the Giza pyramids standing as silent guardians of history. As darkness settles over the city, thousands of lights illuminate Cairo like a sea of stars beneath the desert sky. The sounds of music, laughter, and conversation continue long into the night, while the timeless Nile flows quietly through the heart of the capital, just as it has for thousands of years. Cairo is more than a destination. It is the perfect introduction to Egypt itself. Here, every street connects the present with the distant past. Ancient civilizations live beside modern ambitions. Sacred traditions meet contemporary life, and history is never confined to museums alone. It exists in every stone, every market, every monument, and every smile. Yet this extraordinary city is only the beginning of our journey. Beyond Cairo's vibrant streets The mighty Nile leads south toward one of the greatest archaeological landscapes on Earth, where colossal temples, royal tombs, and forgotten kingdoms still preserve the glory of the pharaohs. Our next destination takes us to the magnificent city of Luxor, where ancient Egypt reveals some of its most breathtaking wonders. Before the first rays of sunlight touch the desert, three enormous silhouettes begin to emerge from the darkness. Slowly, as dawn paints the horizon in shades of gold and amber, these ancient giants reveal themselves in breathtaking silence. For more than 4,500 years, they have watched empires rise and disappear, witnessed civilizations come and go, and survived countless storms, earthquakes, and invasions. Standing before them is more than a sightseeing experience. It is a meeting with one of humanity's greatest achievements. Welcome to the legendary Giza Plateau, home to the last surviving wonder of the ancient world. Located on the western edge of modern Cairo, the Giza Plateau is one of the most iconic archaeological sites on Earth. Every year, millions of travelers journey here to witness monuments that continue to challenge modern science and engineering. Despite centuries of research, many questions surrounding their construction remain unanswered, adding even greater fascination to these timeless masterpieces. The largest and most famous monument is the Great Pyramid of Khufu, also known as the Pyramid of Cheops. Rising nearly 147 meters into the sky when it was first completed, it remained the tallest man-made structure on Earth for almost 4,000 years. Even today, its immense size inspires awe. Built from an estimated 2.3 million limestone and granite blocks, many weighing several tons, the pyramid demonstrates a level of planning and precision that continues to astonish engineers around the world. What makes this monument even more extraordinary is its remarkable accuracy. Each side of the pyramid is almost perfectly aligned with the four cardinal directions of north, south, east, and west. The difference between its measurements is astonishingly small, even by modern construction standards. Ancient Egyptian builders achieved this incredible precision without computers, laser equipment, or modern machinery, relying only on mathematics, astronomy, and exceptional craftsmanship. For centuries, theories have attempted to explain how such an enormous structure was built. Some suggest vast systems of ramps stretching across the desert, while others propose sophisticated lifting techniques using wooden sledges, levers, and carefully organized teams of skilled workers. Recent archaeological discoveries indicate that the pyramids were not built by enslaved people, as once believed, but by highly trained laborers who worked in organized communities, receiving food, shelter, and medical care during construction. Inside the Great Pyramid lies a mysterious world hidden from the desert sun. Narrow ascending passages lead to remarkable chambers carved deep within the stone. The King's Chamber, constructed from massive granite blocks transported hundreds of kilometers from Aswan, remains one of the pyramid's greatest mysteries. Above it, a series of relieving chambers were ingeniously designed to distribute the immense weight of millions of stones resting overhead, protecting the chamber for thousands of years. Even today, modern technology continues to reveal new secrets. Advanced scanning techniques have detected previously unknown voids hidden deep inside the pyramid, sparking fresh debates among archaeologists about undiscovered chambers and their possible purpose. Every new discovery reminds us that the Great Pyramid still guards mysteries waiting to be uncovered. Beside this monumental masterpiece stands the Pyramid of Khafra, instantly recognizable by the smooth limestone casing that still crowns its summit. Although slightly shorter than the Great Pyramid, its elevated position creates the illusion that it is even taller. This elegant monument preserves a glimpse of how all the pyramids once appeared, covered entirely in brilliant white limestone that reflected the Egyptian sun so intensely it could be seen from many kilometers away. At its base lies the impressive Valley Temple, where priests once prepared the pharaoh's body for its eternal journey. Massive granite walls, polished stone floors, and precisely fitted blocks showcase the extraordinary architectural skills achieved over 4,000 years ago. Every corridor speaks of rituals dedicated to preserving the divine ruler for eternity. Completing the sacred trio is the Pyramid of Menkaure. Though considerably smaller than its neighboring giants, it possesses a unique elegance and remarkable craftsmanship. Built using both limestone and beautiful red granite, it reflects a refinement that demonstrates how pyramid construction continued to evolve through successive generations of pharaohs. Surrounding these royal monuments are numerous smaller pyramids, temples, causeways, and tombs belonging to queens, nobles, priests, and high-ranking officials. Together they form an immense funerary complex that once functioned as a sacred city devoted entirely to the afterlife. Every structure played an important role in honoring the pharaohs and ensuring their successful passage into eternity. Walking across the Giza Plateau reveals another extraordinary aspect often overlooked by visitors. The pyramids are not isolated monuments standing alone in the desert. They form part of a carefully planned architectural landscape designed with remarkable geometric harmony. Ancient builders considered astronomy, religion, geography, and symbolism in every aspect of their construction, creating a sacred environment where heaven and earth were believed to meet. As the desert wind gently moves across the plateau, countless stories seem to echo through the silence. Caravan traders, Roman emperors, medieval travelers, explorers, archaeologists, and modern scientists have all stood upon this same ground, each hoping to unlock the secrets hidden within these colossal stones. Yet, despite centuries of investigation, the pyramids continue to preserve an aura of mystery unlike any other monument on Earth. Beyond their extraordinary engineering, the pyramids symbolize humanity's timeless desire to create something that would outlive generations. Built as eternal resting places for powerful rulers, they have instead become lasting monuments to human imagination, determination, and ambition. Their survival through more than 45 centuries is a testament to the remarkable vision of the civilization that created them. As afternoon sunlight slowly shifts across the limestone surfaces, the pyramids transform in color, glowing with shades of gold, orange, and deep amber. Every hour reveals a different personality. At sunrise, they appear peaceful and majestic. Under the midday sun, they dominate the landscape with overwhelming power. At sunset, they become almost mystical, blending seamlessly into the surrounding desert as shadows stretch across the ancient sands. Few places on Earth inspire such powerful emotions. Standing before these giants reminds every visitor of humanity's extraordinary potential. They represent not only the achievements of ancient Egypt, but also one of civilization's greatest expressions of creativity, knowledge, and perseverance. Their silent presence continues to unite people from every corner of the world through a shared sense of wonder. Yet the greatest mystery of Giza is still waiting just beyond the pyramids themselves. Guarding this sacred plateau with an unchanging gaze for thousands of years stands a colossal figure unlike any other monument ever created. Half human, half lion, it has become one of history's most enduring symbols of mystery and power. In the next chapter, we will come face to face with the legendary Great Sphinx of Giza, whose silent expression continues to challenge historians, archaeologists, and dreamers alike. As the Nile continues its timeless journey through the heart of Egypt, it reaches a place where history feels almost untouched by time. Here, magnificent temples rise beside fertile riverbanks, towering columns disappear into the sky, and hidden tombs lie beneath silent desert mountains. Every sunrise illuminates monuments that have witnessed the reign of legendary pharaohs, the rise of powerful dynasties, and the devotion of countless generations. Welcome to Luxor, often called the world's greatest open-air museum, where the glory of ancient Egypt survives in breathtaking detail. More than 3,000 years ago, this remarkable city was known as Thebes, the magnificent capital of the New Kingdom. During one of Egypt's most powerful eras, Thebes became the political, religious, and cultural center of an empire that stretched far beyond the Nile Valley. Wealth flowed into the city from distant lands, funding the construction of enormous temples, royal palaces, and monuments that still inspire millions of visitors today. Unlike many ancient cities that disappeared beneath modern development, Luxor preserves an extraordinary concentration of archaeological treasures. Every direction reveals another masterpiece carved from sandstone or granite, each telling stories of gods, kings, victories, and eternal life. Walking through Luxor feels less like visiting a city and more like stepping directly into the pages of history. Dominating the eastern bank of the Nile is the magnificent Karnak Temple Complex, the largest religious complex ever built by humanity. Covering more than 200 acres, Karnak was not constructed by a single ruler. Instead, over 30 pharaohs expanded and transformed the sanctuary across nearly 2,000 years, creating an architectural masterpiece unlike anything else in the ancient world. Approaching the entrance, visitors are welcomed by an avenue once lined with hundreds of majestic ram-headed sphinxes. These sacred guardians symbolize divine protection, guiding pilgrims toward one of Egypt's holiest places. As each step brings you closer, the sheer scale of Karnak becomes almost overwhelming. At the heart of the complex lies the legendary Great Hypostyle Hall, one of the most astonishing architectural achievements of ancient civilization. 134 colossal columns rise like a forest of stone, some reaching heights comparable to modern 7-story buildings. Their massive capitals resemble blooming papyrus flowers, while every surface is covered with beautifully carved hieroglyphs depicting royal ceremonies, military victories, sacred rituals, and offerings to the gods. Looking upward, shafts of sunlight stream between the towering columns, creating an atmosphere that feels almost otherworldly. Even after more than 3,000 years, traces of brilliant blue, red, green, and gold pigments remain visible, reminding visitors that these temples were once vividly painted, transforming Karnak into an explosion of color beneath Egypt's brilliant sky. For the ancient Egyptians, Karnak represented far more than a place of worship. It served as the spiritual center of the empire, dedicated primarily to Amun-Ra, king of the gods. During magnificent religious festivals, thousands of priests, musicians, dancers, and citizens gathered within these sacred walls to celebrate ceremonies that reinforced the divine connection between the gods and the ruling pharaoh. A remarkable stone avenue once connected Karnak to another masterpiece just a few kilometers away. Known today as the Avenue of the Sphinxes, this ceremonial road stretched for nearly 3 kilometers, lined with hundreds of beautifully carved sphinxes that guided religious processions between Karnak Temple and Luxor Temple. After centuries buried beneath sand and modern buildings, this ancient avenue has once again revealed its remarkable beauty. At the southern end of this grand processional route stands Luxor Temple, one of Egypt's most elegant monuments. Unlike many temples dedicated solely to worship, Luxor temples celebrated kingship itself. Here, newly crowned pharaohs affirmed their divine authority through sacred ceremonies designed to unite earthly rule with heavenly power. Its entrance is marked by colossal statues of Ramses II, whose immense seated figures continue to welcome visitors just as they did over 3,000 years ago. Towering obelisks once stood as twin monuments before the temple's gateway. Today, one remains proudly in Luxor, while its companion was transported to Paris during the 19th century, where it now stands in the Place de la Concorde. As evening falls, Luxor Temple becomes even more magical. Warm, golden lights illuminate its towering columns and statues, casting dramatic shadows that transform the ancient sanctuary into a breathtaking spectacle. The peaceful atmosphere allows visitors to imagine the magnificent festivals that once filled these sacred spaces with music, incense, and thousands of worshippers. Crossing the Nile to the western bank reveals another side of ancient Egypt. While the eastern bank symbolized life and the rising sun, the western bank represented death and the journey into eternity. Here, beneath rugged desert cliffs, lies one of archaeology's greatest treasures, the Valley of the Kings. Hidden among barren limestone hills, this remarkable necropolis became the final resting place of Egypt's most powerful rulers. Instead of building giant pyramids that could easily attract thieves, New Kingdom pharaohs chose to carve elaborate tombs deep into the mountains, concealing their treasures beneath layers of solid rock. Today, more than 60 royal tombs have been discovered within the valley. Each one tells a different story, decorated with extraordinary paintings, sacred texts, astronomical maps, and colorful scenes illustrating the soul's journey through the afterlife. Despite thousands of years passing, many of these artworks still retain astonishing detail and vibrant colors. Among all these royal tombs, none is more famous than that of Tutankhamun. Discovered almost completely intact in 1922 by British archaeologist Howard Carter, the young king's burial chamber revealed over 5,000 priceless objects, forever transforming our understanding of ancient Egypt. Although the treasures now reside in museums, standing inside the tomb itself offers an unforgettable connection to one of history's greatest archaeological discoveries. Equally remarkable is the tomb of Seti I, widely considered one of the most beautifully decorated royal tombs ever found. Long corridors descend deep beneath the mountain, their walls covered with exquisitely carved hieroglyphs and colorful religious scenes that continue almost uninterrupted from entrance to burial chamber. Towering above the Valley of the Kings stands another masterpiece carved directly into the cliffs. The mortuary temple of Queen Hatshepsut rises in graceful terraces that blend harmoniously with the surrounding mountains. One of Egypt's greatest female rulers, Hatshepsut transformed her reign into an era of prosperity, trade, and monumental architecture. Her temple remains one of the finest examples of ancient design, combining elegance with breathtaking natural surroundings. Not far away stand the Colossi of Memnon, two enormous stone statues that have watched over the Theban plain for more than 3,000 years. Though the grand temple they once guarded has largely disappeared, these silent giants continue to welcome travelers arriving from the Nile, preserving the memory of Pharaoh Amenhotep III and one of Egypt's greatest royal complexes. As the sun slowly sets behind the western mountains, the monuments of Luxor glow with deep shades of gold and crimson. The Nile reflects the fading light, while temple walls seem almost alive with stories carved into every stone. Few places on earth offer such an extraordinary connection between history, architecture, religion, and human achievement. Luxor is not simply a destination. It is the beating heart of ancient Egypt, where every monument reminds us that civilizations may fade, but true greatness can endure for thousands of years. Yet our journey through Egypt is far from over. Following the Nile toward the Mediterranean, we arrive at a city founded by one of history's greatest conquerors, where Greek ambition met Egyptian wisdom, and where knowledge once illuminated the ancient world. Our next destination is the legendary city of Alexandria. The Nile has always been more than a river. It is the lifeline of Egypt, a timeless highway that has carried kings, merchants, explorers, and dreamers for thousands of years. As its calm waters wind gracefully through fertile valleys and golden deserts, every bend reveals another chapter of one of humanity's greatest civilizations. Following the Nile south from Luxor is not simply a journey across a landscape. It is a voyage through history itself, where magnificent temples, colorful villages, and ancient traditions continue to thrive along the banks of the river that made Egypt possible. For over 6,000 kilometers, the Nile flows through northeastern Africa before reaching the Mediterranean Sea. But nowhere is its influence more profound than in Egypt. Unlike most great rivers, the Nile flows from south to north, creating a narrow ribbon of life surrounded by vast deserts. For thousands of years, its annual floods deposited rich black soil across the valley, allowing agriculture to flourish in a land where rainfall is almost non-existent. Without the Nile, there would have been no pharaohs, no pyramids, and no ancient Egyptian civilization. As traditional feluccas glide silently across the shimmering water, it becomes easy to imagine how little this timeless landscape has changed. Their white triangular sails catch the gentle breeze just as they did thousands of years ago, carrying travelers between villages that remain deeply connected to the rhythms of the river. Palm trees sway along the shoreline, fishermen cast their nets into calm waters, and farmers continue cultivating fertile fields using methods passed down through generations. The first remarkable stop along this southern journey is the Temple of Edfu, one of the best preserved monuments in all of Egypt. Dedicated to Horus, the falcon-headed god of protection and kingship, this magnificent sanctuary remained buried beneath layers of sand for centuries, preserving its extraordinary beauty almost intact. Approaching the temple feels like entering another world. Massive sandstone pylons rise dramatically above the surrounding landscape, covered with detailed carvings depicting battles between Horus and Seth, the eternal struggle between order and chaos. Every wall tells stories through beautifully preserved hieroglyphs, while towering columns lead visitors toward the sacred sanctuary where priests once performed daily rituals honoring the divine falcon. Inside, the remarkable craftsmanship becomes even more astonishing. Intricate reliefs illustrate religious ceremonies, astronomical knowledge, sacred festivals, and ancient medical practices. Even after more than 2,000 years, many carvings remain remarkably sharp, allowing modern visitors to witness the artistic brilliance of ancient Egyptian craftsmen. Continuing southward, the Nile gently carries us toward one of Egypt's most unique temples, the extraordinary Temple of Kom Ombo. Unlike any other sanctuary in the country, this temple was designed with perfect symmetry, honoring two different gods within a single architectural masterpiece. One half of the temple is dedicated to Sobek, the crocodile god associated with fertility, strength, and the mighty Nile itself. The other half honors Horus the Elder, represented by the falcon, and revered as a symbol of protection and divine justice. Every entrance, corridor, sanctuary, and ceremonial chamber is mirrored, reflecting the remarkable balance the ancient Egyptians sought between opposing forces. The temple walls reveal fascinating scenes rarely found elsewhere in Egypt. Ancient surgical instruments, medical procedures, and detailed anatomical illustrations are carved into the stone, providing valuable insight into the surprisingly advanced medical knowledge possessed by Egyptian physicians thousands of years ago. Nearby, the Crocodile Museum displays dozens of carefully preserved crocodile mummies, reminding visitors of the sacred relationship between the Nile and the powerful reptiles that once dominated its waters. As the river continues its peaceful journey south, the surrounding scenery gradually changes. Golden desert cliffs give way to clusters of palm-covered islands, while granite boulders emerge from the water, creating one of the Nile's most picturesque landscapes. Here lies the beautiful city of Aswan, a place where Egypt begins to reveal an entirely different cultural identity. For centuries, Aswan served as Egypt's southern gateway, connecting the pharaohs with the rich civilizations of Nubia and Central Africa. Trade caravans carrying gold, ivory, exotic animals, incense, and precious stones once passed through this strategic city, making it one of the wealthiest regions of ancient Egypt. Today, Aswan moves at a slower, more peaceful rhythm than Cairo or Luxor. Elegant feluccas drift quietly between emerald islands, while colorful Nubian villages brighten the riverbanks with homes painted in vibrant shades of blue, yellow, orange, and pink. The atmosphere feels warm and welcoming, reflecting a culture that has preserved its unique traditions for thousands of years. The Nubian people are among the oldest communities in the Nile Valley, with a rich heritage distinct from the rest of Egypt. Their music, language, architecture, and craftsmanship continue to flourish despite centuries of change. Walking through a Nubian village offers an unforgettable cultural experience, where narrow streets echo with traditional songs, fragrant spices fill the air, and friendly families welcome visitors with sweet tea and genuine hospitality. One of Aswan's most enchanting landmarks is Elephantine Island, which has played an important role since the earliest days of Egyptian civilization. Once considered the southern frontier of the ancient kingdom, the island became a thriving center of trade, religion, and administration. Today, archaeological remains blend harmoniously with modern Nubian life, creating a fascinating connection between past and present. Not far from the city rises another masterpiece rescued from history itself. The beautiful Temple of Philae, dedicated to Isis, the goddess of magic, motherhood, and healing, stands gracefully on Agilkia Island after being carefully relocated during one of UNESCO's greatest preservation projects. Surrounded by the sparkling waters of the Nile, the temple appears almost magical, especially as golden sunlight reflects from its elegant columns and towering gateways. The intricate reliefs covering Philae's walls tell timeless stories of Isis and Osiris, one of the most beloved legends in Egyptian mythology. Every carved scene reflects themes of love, sacrifice, resurrection, and eternal hope, values that shaped Egyptian beliefs for countless generations. As evening approaches, the Nile transforms into a mirror of glowing colors. Orange, crimson, and purple skies reflect upon the calm waters, while graceful sailboats move silently through the fading light. Along the riverbanks, families gather for evening walks. Children laugh beside the water, and the gentle sound of traditional Nubian music drifts across the breeze. Few places on earth offer such a perfect harmony between nature, history, and living culture. The Nile is not merely a river flowing through Egypt. It is the thread that connects every chapter of the nation's remarkable story, from the earliest pharaohs to the vibrant communities that continue to call its banks home today. Yet farther south, beyond Aswan, another extraordinary wonder awaits. Deep within the Nubian desert stands one of the greatest monuments ever carved by human hands, rescued from destruction through one of the most ambitious engineering projects of the modern era. Our next destination is the magnificent Abu Simbel, where colossal statues of Ramses II continue to gaze across the sands, guarding one of Egypt's most awe-inspiring masterpieces. Far beyond the fertile banks of the Nile, where the lush green valley gradually surrenders to the endless silence of the Nubian desert, four colossal stone figures rise from the golden cliffs like eternal guardians of a forgotten world. Their calm expressions have watched over this sacred landscape for more than 3,000 years, witnessing the rise and fall of kingdoms, the passing of civilizations, and the endless flow of time. Here, in one of the most remote corners of Egypt, stands Abu Simbel, a monument so extraordinary that it represents not only the greatest ambition of an ancient pharaoh, but also one of the most remarkable rescue missions in modern history. As the first rays of sunlight illuminate the sandstone facade, the immense scale of the great temple becomes almost impossible to comprehend. Carved directly into the mountainside during the reign of Ramses II in the 13th century BC, the temple was designed to celebrate both the king's divine authority and Egypt's overwhelming power. It was more than a place of worship. It was a declaration to every traveler, merchant, and neighboring kingdom entering Nubia that the pharaoh ruled with the blessing of the gods themselves. Dominating the entrance are four seated statues of Ramses II, each standing nearly 20 meters tall. Their faces remain remarkably serene, despite more than 32 centuries of desert winds, blazing sun, and shifting sands. Every detail reflects the extraordinary craftsmanship of ancient Egyptian sculptors. The carefully carved royal crowns, the elegant pleats of the ceremonial garments, the muscular hands resting confidently upon their knees, and the powerful gaze fixed toward the horizon all communicate strength, stability, and eternal authority. Looking closer, smaller statues stand beside the giant colossi, representing members of the royal family. Queens, princes, princesses, and royal relatives appear almost miniature in comparison, emphasizing the pharaoh's supreme position within Egyptian society. Above the entrance, carved into the rock, the falcon-headed god Ra-Horakhti stretches his wings across the temple facade, welcoming worshippers into one of Egypt's greatest sacred spaces. Crossing the entrance feels like stepping into another age. The blazing desert sunlight slowly fades, replaced by cool stone corridors lined with towering pillars sculpted into the image of Ramses himself. These impressive Osirid statues portray the king with crossed arms, symbolizing his eternal union with Osiris, the god of the afterlife. Every wall surrounding these halls is covered with intricate reliefs that remain astonishingly well preserved after thousands of years. The carvings are far more than decorative art. They tell the story of a ruler determined to immortalize his achievements. Battle scenes stretch across entire walls, depicting Ramses II leading Egyptian armies against powerful enemies. The most famous of these is the Battle of Kadesh, one of the largest chariot battles in ancient history. Although modern historians believe the conflict ended in a strategic draw, the temple proudly portrays Ramses as the heroic victor, charging fearlessly into battle, while defeating countless enemies almost single-handedly. These dramatic scenes reveal how ancient Egyptian monuments often served as carefully crafted political messages. Every carving reinforced the image of the pharaoh as an invincible warrior chosen by the gods to protect Egypt from all threats. Through architecture and art, Ramses transformed history into legend, ensuring that future generations would remember him not simply as a king, but as one of Egypt's greatest rulers. Continuing deeper into the temple, the atmosphere becomes increasingly sacred. Long passageways lead toward the innermost sanctuary, where four seated statues wait in complete silence. They represent Ptah, Amun-Ra, the deified Ramses II, and Ra-Horakhti, together symbolizing the divine order that governed both heaven and earth. What makes this sanctuary truly extraordinary is one of the most sophisticated architectural achievements of the ancient world. Twice every year, around the 22nd of February and the 22nd of October, the rising sun aligns perfectly with the temple's entrance. Its golden rays travel nearly 60 meters through the dark corridors before illuminating three of the four statues within the sanctuary. For only a few precious moments, the faces of Amun-Ra, Ramses II, and Ra-Horakhti glow brilliantly beneath the morning sunlight, while the fourth figure, Ptah, remains forever in shadow. This was no accident. Ptah was associated with creation, mystery, and the underworld, realms hidden from the light. The precision required to achieve this celestial alignment demonstrates the astonishing astronomical knowledge possessed by Egyptian architects over 3,000 years ago. Standing beside the Great Temple is another masterpiece that tells a different but equally remarkable story. This smaller sanctuary was dedicated to Queen Nefertari, the beloved wife of Ramses II, and to Hathor, the goddess of love, beauty, music, and motherhood. In ancient Egypt, queens rarely received monuments approaching the grandeur of those built for pharaohs. Yet here, Nefertari stands proudly beside her husband. The temple's facade features 6 magnificent statues, 4 representing Ramses II and 2 depicting Queen Nefertari. What makes these sculptures extraordinary is that the queen is shown at almost the same height as the king. Such equality was almost unheard of in ancient Egyptian art and reflects the exceptional respect Ramses held for his queen. It remains one of history's most beautiful tributes to royal partnership. Inside, graceful columns crowned with the face of Hathor support beautifully decorated halls where vibrant reliefs celebrate music, dance, divine blessings, and sacred ceremonies. Even after centuries, traces of brilliant pigments still cling to the stone, offering a glimpse of how dazzling these interiors once appeared beneath flickering torchlight. Yet Abu Simbel's story extends far beyond the ancient world. During the 20th century, the construction of the Aswan High Dam threatened to erase these priceless monuments forever beneath the rising waters of Lake Nasser. One of humanity's greatest archaeological treasures faced complete destruction. The international response was unprecedented. Under the leadership of UNESCO, experts from around the world united to save Abu Simbel in what became one of the most ambitious engineering projects ever attempted. Between 1964 and 1968, the temples were carefully cut into more than 1,000 massive stone blocks, each precisely numbered, transported to higher ground, and reassembled piece by piece. The entire mountain was recreated approximately 65 meters above its original location, preserving not only the temples themselves, but also their exact orientation toward the rising sun. Every chamber, corridor, relief, and astronomical alignment was reconstructed with astonishing accuracy. It was a triumph of modern engineering inspired by humanity's shared determination to protect its cultural heritage. Today, visitors often stand before Abu Simbel without realizing they are looking at one of the greatest preservation achievements in history. The temples appear so natural within their new surroundings that it is almost impossible to imagine they once stood beside a different shoreline. As the sun slowly begins to set over the Nubian desert, warm golden light washes across the colossal statues, bringing their ancient faces to life once more. Long shadows stretch across the sand, while silence returns to the sacred cliffs. In these quiet moments, Abu Simbel becomes more than a monument. It becomes a timeless symbol of human ambition, artistic genius, scientific knowledge, and our enduring commitment to preserving the legacy of those who came before us. But Egypt's story is far from complete. Leaving the temples of Nubia behind, our journey now turns north toward a city unlike any other in the ancient world. A place where Greek vision met Egyptian wisdom, where scholars gathered from every corner of the known world, and where one of history's greatest libraries once illuminated human knowledge. Our next destination is the legendary city of Alexandria, the shining jewel of the Mediterranean, where the fertile Nile Delta finally reaches the endless blue waters of the Mediterranean Sea. A city rises that has witnessed some of history's greatest dreams. Unlike the temple cities of Upper Egypt or the mysterious monuments hidden deep within the desert, Alexandria tells a different story. It is a story of explorers and philosophers, sailors and scholars, emperors and queens. Here, civilizations met not through conquest alone, but through knowledge, culture, and discovery. Welcome to Alexandria, the legendary city where East embraced West, creating one of the most remarkable centers of learning and civilization the ancient world had ever known. The story begins in 331 BC, when one of history's greatest military commanders arrived on the shores of Egypt. Alexander the Great envisioned a city unlike any that had existed before. Positioned perfectly between Africa, Europe, and Asia, Alexandria would become a gateway connecting the Mediterranean world with the riches of the Nile Valley. Although Alexander would never live to see his dream completed, the city that carried his name quickly grew into the greatest metropolis of the ancient world. Designed with wide avenues, elegant public squares, magnificent palaces, and bustling harbors, Alexandria became a masterpiece of urban planning. Ships from Greece, Rome, Phoenicia, Persia, and distant lands filled its ports, bringing spices, silk, precious metals, rare manuscripts, and ideas from every corner of the known world. The city's multicultural atmosphere made it one of the most vibrant places on Earth, where different languages, religions, and traditions flourished side by side. But Alexandria's greatest treasure was neither its wealth nor its strategic location. It was knowledge itself. At the heart of the city once stood the legendary Library of Alexandria, perhaps the most ambitious intellectual project in human history. Ancient rulers dreamed of collecting every book ever written, preserving the knowledge of every civilization under one roof. Scholars traveled thousands of kilometers to study mathematics, astronomy, medicine, philosophy, geography, literature, and engineering. Thousands upon thousands of scrolls filled its enormous halls, making Alexandria the intellectual capital of the ancient world. Within these walls, some of history's greatest minds expanded humanity's understanding of the universe. Astronomers calculated the movement of stars, mathematicians developed groundbreaking theories, physicians advanced medical science, and geographers produced remarkably accurate maps of the known world. Although the original library was eventually lost through centuries of conflict and decline, its spirit continues to inspire educational institutions across the globe. Today, that remarkable legacy lives on through the Bibliotheca Alexandrina, a magnificent modern library built near the site of its legendary predecessor. Its striking circular design appears to rise from the earth, like the sun emerging from the Mediterranean Sea. Inside, millions of books, museums, exhibition halls, and research centers celebrate humanity's endless pursuit of knowledge. It stands not merely as a replacement for the ancient library, but as a symbol that learning has no borders and that great ideas never truly disappear. Not far from the library stands another monument connected to Alexandria's extraordinary past. Guarding the entrance to the city's harbor is the imposing citadel of Qaitbay. Built during the 15th century, this powerful fortress occupies the very site where one of the seven wonders of the ancient world once stood, the legendary Lighthouse of Alexandria. Known as the Pharos, the lighthouse guided sailors safely into the harbor for more than 15 centuries. Rising well over 100 meters above the sea, it was one of the tallest structures ever built in the ancient world. At its summit, massive fires reflected through polished mirrors created a brilliant beacon visible from astonishing distances, helping countless ships navigate the Mediterranean safely. Although powerful earthquakes eventually destroyed the lighthouse, its legacy lives on beneath the waves. Marine archaeologists continue to discover enormous stone blocks, statues, columns, and architectural fragments resting quietly on the seabed, offering fascinating glimpses into one of humanity's greatest engineering achievements. Beneath the bustling streets of modern Alexandria lies another hidden world waiting to be explored. The catacombs of Qom el-Shokafa descend deep beneath the city, revealing one of Egypt's most unusual archaeological treasures. These underground burial chambers beautifully combine Egyptian, Greek, and Roman artistic traditions, reflecting Alexandria's unique cultural identity. Massive columns, carved reliefs, and elaborate tombs create a mysterious atmosphere where different civilizations merged into one remarkable artistic expression. Nearby, Pompey's Pillar rises proudly above the surrounding landscape. Despite its misleading name, this towering Roman column has no connection to the famous Roman general Pompey. Instead, it was erected in honor of Emperor Diocletian during the late Roman Empire. Carved from a single block of red Aswan granite, the monument stands as one of the largest ancient columns ever constructed, reminding visitors of Alexandria's continued importance long after the age of the pharaohs. Yet perhaps the city's greatest beauty lies not only in its monuments, but in its atmosphere. Stretching for kilometers along the Mediterranean coastline is the famous Corniche, a scenic waterfront boulevard where everyday life unfolds against a backdrop of sparkling blue waters. Families stroll along the promenade, fishermen cast their lines into the sea, cafes serve fresh seafood overlooking the harbor, and gentle sea breezes provide welcome relief from Egypt's desert heat. Unlike many inland Egyptian cities, Alexandria possesses a distinctly Mediterranean character. Elegant 19th century buildings stand beside Ottoman mosques and modern high-rises, while palm-lined streets lead toward bustling neighborhoods filled with bookstores, art galleries, and lively cafes. The city has long inspired poets, writers, and artists who found creativity within its unique blend of cultures and breathtaking coastal scenery. Alexandria is also forever linked with one of history's most fascinating women, Cleopatra VII, the last active ruler of ancient Egypt. Although many details of her royal palace remain hidden beneath the Mediterranean Sea, underwater excavations continue to reveal remarkable statues, sphinxes, columns, and architectural remains believed to belong to the royal quarter where Cleopatra once governed her kingdom. Every new discovery adds another chapter to the story of a queen whose influence shaped the destiny of Egypt and Rome alike. As evening approaches, the Mediterranean begins to glow beneath shades of gold, crimson, and deep violet. Fishing boats return slowly to the harbor while waves gently break against the ancient shoreline. The city's lights gradually illuminate historic buildings, modern cafes, and lively waterfront restaurants, creating an atmosphere that feels both timeless and contemporary. Alexandria is unlike anywhere else in Egypt. It is not defined by colossal pyramids or desert temples, but by ideas, exploration, and cultural exchange. Here, civilizations did not simply coexist. They inspired one another, creating a legacy that continues to shape the modern world. Every street, harbor, and monument reminds visitors that knowledge can become one of humanity's greatest achievements. Yet, Egypt's wonders extend far beyond its ancient cities and Mediterranean coast. Our journey now leaves behind the world of philosophers and scholars and heads toward a breathtaking meeting point where golden desert mountains descend into crystal-clear waters filled with vibrant coral reefs and extraordinary marine life. Ahead lies one of the country's most spectacular natural paradises, the dazzling shores of the Red Sea and the world-famous resort of Sharm el-Sheikh. The farther we travel from Egypt's ancient cities, the quieter the world becomes. The sounds of bustling markets, temple ceremonies, and flowing rivers slowly disappear, replaced by an endless silence that stretches across the horizon. Here, in the vast Egyptian Sahara, nature becomes the greatest artist. Wind replaces water, stone replaces forests, and millions of years replace human history. Yet, hidden within this seemingly empty wilderness are landscapes so extraordinary that they appear to belong to another planet. Welcome to Egypt's magnificent deserts and oases, where every rock formation, every dune, and every hidden spring tells a story written long before the first pharaoh ever ruled the Nile. At first glance, the Sahara appears endless and lifeless. Covering most of Egypt's territory, it is one of the largest and oldest deserts on Earth. Towering sand dunes rise like frozen ocean waves, while endless plains of golden gravel stretch beyond the limits of sight. During the day, temperatures soar beneath an unforgiving sun, while the nights reveal a sky filled with countless stars shining brighter than almost anywhere else on the planet. But beneath this harsh landscape lies an astonishing secret. Hidden beneath the desert floor are ancient underground aquifers, storing water that fell as rain thousands of years ago when this region was covered by lakes, rivers, and lush vegetation. These hidden reservoirs have allowed remarkable oases to flourish, transforming isolated corners of the Sahara into thriving islands of life surrounded by an ocean of sand. Among the most spectacular of these natural wonders is the White Desert National Park. Located deep within Egypt's western desert, this surreal landscape seems almost impossible to believe. Massive white chalk formations rise dramatically from the desert floor, sculpted over millions of years by powerful winds into shapes that resemble giant mushrooms, towering pillars, graceful arches, and mysterious animals frozen in stone. Walking through the white desert feels like stepping onto another world. Every direction reveals extraordinary natural sculptures created entirely by erosion. Some resemble enormous icebergs drifting across an endless sea of sand, while others take the form of giant birds, camels, or mythical creatures. As sunlight moves across the landscape throughout the day, these brilliant white formations constantly change color, glowing with shades of gold, silver, pink, and orange beneath the Egyptian sky. When night finally falls, the white desert becomes even more magical. Without city lights to obscure the heavens, millions of stars illuminate the landscape with breathtaking clarity. Beneath the Milky Way, silence becomes almost absolute, broken only by the gentle whisper of desert winds moving between the chalk formations. Few places on Earth offer such an extraordinary connection between nature and the cosmos. Only a short distance away lies another geological masterpiece that provides a striking contrast. The Black Desert presents an entirely different face of the Sahara. Here, volcanic hills covered in dark basalt create dramatic landscapes unlike anywhere else in Egypt. Ancient volcanic activity scattered black stones across the surrounding mountains, giving the region its distinctive appearance and creating a landscape that feels both rugged and mysterious. Between these two remarkable deserts stands Crystal Mountain, one of Egypt's hidden geological treasures. Unlike a true mountain, this sparkling ridge is composed almost entirely of quartz crystals that shimmer brilliantly beneath the sunlight. Every surface catches the light, creating dazzling reflections that make the entire formation appear as though it has been carved from glass. Millions of years of geological activity transformed ordinary minerals into one of the Sahara's most beautiful natural wonders. Continuing deeper into the western desert, another extraordinary destination begins to emerge from the horizon. Surrounded by endless palm groves and shimmering salt lakes, lies the legendary Siwa Oasis, one of Egypt's most isolated and enchanting settlements. For centuries, Siwa remained almost completely separated from the rest of Egypt by hundreds of kilometers of unforgiving desert. This isolation allowed the oasis to preserve a unique culture unlike anywhere else in the country. Here, where the desert meets one of the world's richest marine ecosystems, Egypt reveals a completely different identity. This is a place where colorful coral gardens replace ancient temples, where dolphins swim beside pristine beaches, and where every sunrise paints both mountains and sea with breathtaking beauty. Welcome to Egypt's extraordinary Red Sea coast, a paradise where adventure, nature, and relaxation exist in perfect harmony. Stretching for hundreds of kilometers along Egypt's eastern shoreline, the Red Sea is considered one of the most remarkable marine environments on Earth. Unlike many tropical destinations, its crystal-clear waters remain warm throughout the year, providing ideal conditions for one of the planet's most diverse coral reef ecosystems. More than 1,200 species of fish inhabit these waters, including hundreds found nowhere else in the world. Every dive beneath the surface reveals a vibrant underwater world bursting with life, color, and extraordinary biodiversity. Our journey begins in the world-famous resort city of Sharm el-Sheikh, located at the southern tip of the Sinai Peninsula. Surrounded by dramatic desert mountains and sparkling blue waters, Sharm has become one of Egypt's most celebrated travel destinations. Luxury resorts line the coastline, yet beyond the modern hotels lies an environment of astonishing natural beauty. The nearby Ras Mohammed National Park is often described as one of the finest diving locations on the planet. Beneath the calm surface, enormous coral walls descend into deep blue waters where schools of butterfly fish, angelfish, parrotfish, and clownfish weave effortlessly through intricate coral formations. Sea turtles glide gracefully above colorful reefs, while elegant eagle rays soar beneath divers like underwater birds. Occasionally, the deeper waters reveal even larger visitors. White-tip reef sharks, hammerhead sharks, and majestic whale sharks migrate through these waters during certain seasons, reminding visitors that the Red Sea remains one of the world's healthiest marine ecosystems. Despite its beauty, this underwater paradise is also remarkably fragile, making conservation efforts essential for preserving its incredible biodiversity. Back on land, Naama Bay forms the lively heart of Sharm el-Sheikh. Palm-lined promenades, elegant cafes, international restaurants, and vibrant evening markets create an atmosphere that attracts travelers from around the world. As sunset transforms the sky into shades of orange and crimson, the waterfront comes alive with music, laughter, and the gentle sound of waves reaching the shore. Continuing north along the coast, we arrive in Dahab, a destination that has preserved a more relaxed and authentic atmosphere. Once a small Bedouin fishing village, Dahab has become one of the world's favorite destinations for divers, windsurfers, and travelers seeking natural beauty without sacrificing local charm. The name Dahab means gold in Arabic, a fitting description for the golden beaches and spectacular sunsets that define this peaceful coastal town. Traditional cafes overlook the sea, while Bedouin families continue welcoming visitors with warm hospitality, fragrant tea, and stories passed down through generations. Just offshore lies one of the world's most famous diving locations, the legendary Blue Hole. This enormous underwater sinkhole descends more than 130 meters into the depths of the Red Sea. Its crystal-clear waters attract experienced divers from every corner of the globe, eager to explore its dramatic vertical walls and breathtaking marine life. Although respected for its challenges, the Blue Hole remains one of nature's most fascinating underwater formations. Beyond the coastline, colorful desert canyons carved into the Sinai Mountains offer unforgettable hiking adventures. Layers of red, orange, yellow, and purple sandstone create spectacular natural corridors shaped by millions of years of erosion. Every turn reveals another masterpiece sculpted by wind and time. Farther south along Egypt's Red Sea coastline lies Hurghada, a city that has transformed from a quiet fishing village into one of the country's premier beach destinations. Stretching along dozens of kilometers of pristine coastline, Hurghada combines modern comfort with easy access to extraordinary marine environments. Its crystal-clear lagoons invite visitors to snorkel directly from the shore, while countless dive boats depart daily toward nearby coral reefs, teeming with colorful marine life. Families enjoy calm beaches and warm waters throughout the year, while adventurous travelers explore nearby islands where white sand beaches meet untouched coral gardens. As evening falls, Hurghada's Marina Boulevard becomes one of the liveliest places on the coast. Elegant yachts fill the harbor, while waterfront restaurants serve freshly caught seafood overlooking the illuminated marina. The city's vibrant nightlife reflects Egypt's growing reputation as both a cultural destination and an international seaside escape. North of Hurghada lies one of Egypt's most ambitious modern developments, El Gouna. Built across a network of artificial islands connected by canals and graceful bridges, this carefully planned resort town offers a unique blend of luxury, sustainability, and innovative design. Often compared to a modern Venetian oasis in the desert, El Gouna combines traditional Nubian-inspired architecture with contemporary elegance. Whitewashed villas, colorful gardens, tranquil lagoons, golf courses, marinas, and eco-friendly transportation systems create an atmosphere unlike anywhere else in Egypt. Its thoughtful planning has transformed a once barren stretch of desert into one of the country's most environmentally conscious tourism destinations. Continuing farther south, the coastline becomes increasingly wild and untouched as we arrive in Marsa Alam, one of Egypt's greatest hidden treasures. Unlike the larger resort cities, Marsa Alam remains surrounded by protected natural habitats where conservation takes priority over large-scale development. Here, the sea offers encounters with some of its most extraordinary inhabitants. In the calm waters of Marsa Mubarak, endangered dugongs, often called sea cows, graze peacefully on underwater seagrass meadows. These gentle marine mammals are among the rarest creatures in the Red Sea and represent one of the region's greatest ecological treasures. Nearby, Elphinstone Reef rises dramatically from the depths like an underwater mountain. Its vertical coral walls attract experienced divers hoping to encounter oceanic white-tip sharks, graceful manta rays, giant groupers, and enormous schools of tropical fish. Every dive reveals a spectacular ecosystem where predators and prey exist in remarkable balance. Yet the true magic of Egypt's Red Sea extends beyond its famous destinations. Mangrove forests protect delicate coastal ecosystems. Dolphins often accompany boats across open water, and coral reefs continue building natural barriers that support thousands of marine species. Scientists consider these reefs among the most resilient in the world, offering valuable insights into how marine ecosystems may adapt to changing global climates. As the day comes to an end, the Red Sea once again reveals its extraordinary beauty. The setting sun bathes the surrounding mountains in brilliant shades of copper and crimson, while the calm water reflects every color of the evening sky. Sailboats drift quietly across the horizon, seabirds circle above hidden coves, and gentle waves erase footprints from golden beaches. Egypt's Red Sea coast reminds us that this remarkable country is far more than pyramids and temples alone. It is a land where ancient history coexists with breathtaking natural wonders, where deserts give birth to coral reefs, and where every coastline offers another unforgettable adventure. Yet beyond these beautiful shores, Egypt still guards countless secrets hidden far from the sea. Ancient temples, forgotten pyramids, mysterious necropolises, and sacred sanctuaries continue waiting across the desert landscape. In our next journey, we leave the coast behind once again to uncover Egypt's forgotten archaeological treasures, places where some of the country's most fascinating stories remain hidden beyond the paths of ordinary travelers. Some of Egypt's greatest wonders are not the ones that appear on postcards or dominate travel brochures. They lie quietly beyond the famous pyramids and crowded temples, hidden beneath drifting desert sands, standing alone in forgotten valleys, or resting peacefully along remote stretches of the Nile. These remarkable places may not receive the same attention as Giza or Luxor, yet they preserve some of the most important chapters in the story of ancient civilization. Here, away from the crowds, Egypt reveals its deepest secrets through monuments that continue to inspire archaeologists, historians, and explorers from around the world. Our journey begins at Saqqara, a vast necropolis located just south of Cairo. Long before the Great Pyramids of Giza transformed the horizon, this sacred desert became the birthplace of monumental stone architecture. It was here nearly 47 centuries ago that one extraordinary man forever changed the course of human engineering. His name was Imhotep. Architect, physician, astronomer, and royal advisor, Imhotep designed the step pyramid for Pharaoh Djoser, creating the first monumental structure ever built entirely from stone. Unlike the smooth-sided pyramids that would later define Egypt, the step pyramid rises in 6 distinct terraces, symbolizing a giant staircase reaching toward the heavens. Standing before this remarkable monument, it becomes clear that this was far more than an architectural experiment. It represented the beginning of a revolution in construction, inspiring generations of architects who would eventually build the legendary pyramids of Giza. Without Saqqara, the wonders that followed might never have existed. Surrounding the step pyramid is an enormous funerary complex filled with ceremonial courtyards, temples, underground passages, and beautifully decorated tombs belonging to nobles and high-ranking officials. Inside these ancient mastabas, colorful reliefs depict everyday Egyptian life with astonishing realism. Farmers harvest crops beside the Nile. Fishermen cast their nets into calm waters. Craftsmen shape stone and wood with remarkable precision, while musicians and dancers celebrate festivals that unfolded thousands of years ago. These scenes transform ordinary daily activities into timeless works of art, allowing modern visitors to witness life exactly as it once was. Traveling deeper into the desert brings us to another extraordinary archaeological landscape, Dashur, where Egypt's master builders refined the science of pyramid construction. Unlike Giza, Dashur feels peaceful and almost untouched, offering visitors an intimate encounter with monuments that reveal the remarkable evolution of ancient engineering. The most distinctive structure here is the mysterious bent pyramid of Pharaoh Sneferu. At first glance, something appears unusual. The pyramid rises steeply before suddenly changing its angle halfway to the summit, creating one of the most recognizable silhouettes in Egypt. Historians believe this dramatic alteration may have resulted from structural concerns discovered during construction, forcing builders to redesign the upper portion to prevent collapse. Although the exact reason remains uncertain, the bent pyramid offers an extraordinary glimpse into the learning process behind one of humanity's greatest architectural achievements. It reminds us that even ancient master builders improved through experimentation, innovation, and perseverance. Nearby stands the magnificent Red Pyramid, often overshadowed by its more famous neighbors, but equally deserving of admiration. Considered the first successful true pyramid with smooth sides, it represents the culmination of decades of engineering refinement. Its reddish limestone gives the monument its modern name, while its perfectly balanced geometry demonstrates the extraordinary precision achieved by ancient Egyptian architects. Leaving the pyramid fields behind, our journey follows the Nile toward one of Egypt's holiest destinations, Abydos. Hidden within the desert landscape, this sacred city served for centuries as one of the most important religious centers of ancient Egypt. Pilgrims traveled enormous distances hoping to honor Osiris, the god of resurrection and eternal life, believing that Abydos offered a spiritual connection unlike anywhere else in the kingdom. The Temple of Seti Wen stands as the city's greatest masterpiece. Unlike many temples where decoration occupies selected areas, nearly every surface here is covered with exquisitely carved reliefs of astonishing precision. The craftsmanship appears almost impossibly delicate, with figures, hieroglyphs, and ceremonial scenes preserved in extraordinary detail despite the passage of more than 3,000 years. Among the temple's greatest treasures is the famous Abydos King List, an invaluable historical record engraved into stone. This remarkable inscription preserves the names of 76 Egyptian pharaohs, providing one of the most important chronological records of ancient Egyptian history. For archaeologists, it remains an indispensable guide for reconstructing the timeline of one of the world's oldest civilizations. Hidden behind the temple lies the mysterious Osirian, an underground structure unlike any other in Egypt. Massive granite blocks weighing many tons surround a central chamber partially filled with groundwater, creating an atmosphere of profound mystery. Some scholars believe it symbolized the mythical tomb of Osiris himself, while others continue debating its true purpose. Even today, its unusual design continues to inspire fascination and speculation. Our exploration continues northward to Dendera, home to the magnificent temple of Hathor, goddess of love, music, beauty, motherhood, and joy. While many Egyptian temples impress through sheer size, Dendera captivates visitors through extraordinary artistic detail. Looking upward, beautifully preserved ceilings reveal one of the most remarkable astronomical masterpieces of the ancient world. The famous Dendera zodiac depicts constellations, celestial bodies, and cosmic cycles with astonishing sophistication, reflecting the advanced astronomical knowledge possessed by Egyptian priests over 2,000 years ago. Every column within the temple is crowned with the serene face of Hathor, her gentle expression watching silently over visitors as sunlight filters through the grand halls. Vibrant blues, reds, yellows, and greens still decorate portions of the ceilings, allowing us to imagine how brilliantly colorful Egyptian temples once appeared. Deep beneath the sanctuary, mysterious underground crypts contain enigmatic reliefs that have sparked endless curiosity. Some carvings depict elongated objects that have inspired imaginative modern interpretations, though archaeologists explain them within the symbolic language of ancient religious beliefs. Regardless of interpretation, these remarkable carvings continue to remind us that Egypt still preserves countless mysteries waiting to be understood. Far to the south, near the shores of Lake Nasser, another remarkable monument tells the story of two civilizations meeting. The Temple of Kalabsha, originally built during the Roman period, honors the Nubian sun god Mandulis, while blending Egyptian, Nubian, and Roman artistic traditions into one extraordinary architectural masterpiece. Saved from rising floodwaters during the construction of the Aswan High Dam, the temple was carefully dismantled and reconstructed stone by stone on higher ground. Its beautifully preserved reliefs portray Roman emperors dressed as Egyptian pharaohs, offering gifts to ancient gods while maintaining traditions that had endured for thousands of years. It stands as a remarkable symbol of cultural continuity, demonstrating how Egypt's influence extended far beyond its own borders. These forgotten monuments remind us that Egypt's greatness was never limited to a handful of famous landmarks. Every temple, pyramid, and sanctuary contributes another chapter to a civilization that continually pushed the boundaries of architecture, science, religion, and artistic expression. Together, they reveal a society driven not only by power and wealth, but also by an extraordinary desire to understand life, death, the heavens, and humanity's place within the universe. As the desert sun slowly sinks toward the horizon, these hidden treasures glow with warm shades of amber and gold. Their quiet beauty offers something increasingly rare in the modern world: the opportunity to stand alone with history, listening to stories preserved not through books, but through stone itself. Beyond Egypt's temples and ancient cities rises a rugged land where towering mountains meet endless deserts, where sacred traditions have endured for millennia, and where one of the world's most important spiritual landscapes continues to inspire pilgrims and adventurers alike. Ahead lies the majestic Sinai Peninsula, where nature, history, and faith come together in one unforgettable destination. There is one final landscape in Egypt where history is measured not only by ancient kingdoms, but by faith, endurance, and the timeless power of nature. Here, towering granite mountains rise from endless deserts. Narrow canyons carve their way through colorful cliffs, and the silence feels almost sacred. This is the Sinai Peninsula, a land suspended between Africa and Asia, where civilizations have crossed paths for thousands of years and where some of humanity's most enduring spiritual traditions were born. Unlike the fertile Nile Valley or the vibrant shores of the Red Sea, Sinai is a world of rugged wilderness. Its vast deserts stretch toward dramatic mountain ranges sculpted over hundreds of millions of years. During the day, the landscape glows beneath brilliant sunlight, revealing endless shades of gold, copper, and crimson. As evening falls, the mountains slowly fade into deep purple silhouettes beneath one of the clearest night skies on Earth. For countless generations, traders, pilgrims, prophets, explorers, and nomadic tribes have crossed this remarkable peninsula. Every valley carries echoes of ancient footsteps, while every mountain seems to guard stories older than recorded history itself. At the heart of Sinai rises one of the most famous peaks in the world, Mount Sinai, also known as Jebel Musa. Standing more than 2,200 meters above sea level, this mountain has become one of the world's most important spiritual destinations. According to Jewish, Christian, and Islamic traditions, this is the mountain where Moses received the Ten Commandments, making it sacred to billions of people across the globe. Long before sunrise, visitors begin climbing the ancient pathways that wind toward the summit. Some choose the gradual camel path, following trails once used by generations of pilgrims. Others challenge themselves by ascending the famous Steps of Repentance, nearly 4,000 stone steps carved into the mountainside by monks centuries ago. The journey itself is unforgettable. As darkness slowly gives way to dawn, stars begin disappearing one by one, while the eastern horizon glows with soft shades of orange and gold. Reaching the summit just before sunrise is a moment few travelers ever forget. As the first rays of sunlight spread across the surrounding peaks, the mountains seem to awaken together. Endless waves of granite ridges stretch toward every horizon, illuminated by warm golden light that transforms the barren landscape into something almost supernatural. Silence surrounds the summit, broken only by the gentle desert wind and the quiet voices of pilgrims witnessing one of nature's greatest spectacles. At the foot of Mount Sinai stands another extraordinary treasure, St. Catherine's Monastery, one of the oldest continuously operating Christian monasteries in the world. Founded during the 6th century under the orders of Byzantine Emperor Justinian I, the monastery has remained active for nearly 1,500 years. Protected by massive granite walls, the monastery appears almost like a fortress rising from the desert floor. Inside lies an extraordinary collection of religious art, ancient manuscripts, priceless icons, and historical documents preserved through centuries of political change and regional conflict. Its library is considered one of the most significant collections of early Christian manuscripts anywhere on Earth, second only to the Vatican in importance. Scholars continue studying these ancient texts, uncovering valuable insights into the history of religion, language, and early civilization. Within the monastery grows one of its most treasured symbols, the legendary burning bush. According to tradition, this bush descends from the very plant through which God spoke to Moses. Whether viewed through the lens of faith or history, the site remains one of the most meaningful places in the entire Middle East, attracting pilgrims from every corner of the globe. Yet Sinai's story extends far beyond its religious significance. The peninsula is home to the Bedouin people, whose ancestors have lived among these mountains for centuries. Their deep understanding of the desert has allowed them to survive in one of the harshest environments on Earth. For generations, Bedouin families have navigated hidden valleys, discovered remote springs, and guided travelers safely across landscapes that appear almost impossible to cross. Their traditions emphasize hospitality above all else. Even today, visitors are often welcomed into simple desert camps with freshly baked bread, aromatic herbal tea, and stories shared beneath a sky filled with countless stars. Their knowledge of medicinal plants, weather patterns, mountain routes, and desert survival has been passed from one generation to the next without interruption, preserving an ancient way of life that remains deeply connected to the natural world. Beyond its spiritual landmarks, Sinai offers some of Egypt's most spectacular natural scenery. Deep within the mountains lies the Colored Canyon, one of the peninsula's most breathtaking geological wonders. Over millions of years, water and wind carved narrow passageways through layers of sandstone rich in iron, manganese, and other minerals. Walking through the canyon feels like entering an enormous, natural cathedral. Towering walls display incredible bands of red, orange, yellow, purple, and pink, each layer representing a different chapter in Earth's geological history. Sunlight filtering through the narrow passages constantly changes the colors, creating an ever-shifting masterpiece sculpted entirely by nature. Farther south, dramatic granite mountains descend directly into the crystal-clear waters of the Gulf of Aqaba. Here, desert cliffs meet vibrant coral reefs, creating one of the world's most striking natural contrasts. In very few places on Earth can travelers witness towering mountains reflected perfectly in warm tropical seas. Sinai also shelters an astonishing diversity of wildlife adapted to survive in its harsh environment. Nubian ibex climb seemingly impossible cliffs with remarkable agility, while desert foxes move silently across rocky valleys under the cover of darkness. Golden eagles soar above mountain peaks, and countless migratory birds pass through the peninsula each year as they travel between Africa, Europe, and Asia. At night, Sinai reveals another unforgettable spectacle. Far from modern cities, light pollution almost disappears completely. The Milky Way stretches across the heavens with breathtaking clarity, revealing thousands of stars invisible from most populated areas. Ancient travelers once relied on these same constellations to navigate across the desert, while modern astronomers continue recognizing Sinai as one of the finest locations in the region for observing the night sky. What makes the Sinai Peninsula truly extraordinary is the remarkable harmony between its landscapes, history, and living traditions. Here, sacred mountains coexist with thriving coral reefs. Ancient monasteries stand beside Bedouin villages. Geological wonders formed over millions of years surround places that have shaped human spirituality for thousands more. Sinai reminds us that Egypt's story extends far beyond the age of the pharaohs. It is a land where civilizations, religions, cultures, and natural wonders have continuously intersected, creating one of the richest historical landscapes anywhere on Earth. As the final sunlight fades behind the granite peaks, long shadows stretch across the desert valleys, and a profound silence settles once again over the mountains. It is the perfect place to reflect on the incredible journey that has carried us across one of the world's oldest civilizations. But one final chapter still remains. Before our adventure comes to an end, we will look back across everything we have discovered, from the mighty pyramids and magnificent temples to hidden oases, colorful coral reefs, sacred mountains, and timeless deserts. celebrating the unforgettable wonders that make Egypt one of the most extraordinary destinations on our planet. As our extraordinary journey across Egypt slowly comes to an end, one truth becomes impossible to ignore. Very few places on Earth can tell the story of humanity with such depth, beauty, and continuity. Egypt is far more than a destination filled with famous landmarks. It is a living museum, an open book written across deserts, rivers, mountains, and seas. Every sunrise illuminates monuments older than entire civilizations, while every sunset reminds us that some places are truly timeless. From the moment we first followed the life-giving waters of the Nile, we stepped into a world where history is measured not in centuries, but in millennia. Long before many of today's nations existed, Egypt had already mastered architecture, astronomy, mathematics, engineering, medicine, and art. Its people transformed simple stone into monuments that continue to inspire wonder thousands of years later. They created temples aligned with the stars, tombs filled with breathtaking masterpieces, and cities that became centers of knowledge for the ancient world. Standing before the Great Pyramids of Giza, it is impossible not to feel humbled by the ambition of those who imagined the impossible and somehow made it real. Millions of carefully placed stones came together to create monuments that have survived earthquakes, invasions, changing climates, and the relentless passage of time. They remain the only surviving wonder of the ancient world, continuing to challenge modern understanding of ancient engineering. Nearby, the mysterious Sphinx continues its silent watch across the desert, its calm expression inviting every visitor to ask questions that may never be fully answered. Together, these monuments have become symbols not only of Egypt, but of human civilization itself. Yet, Egypt's greatness extends far beyond its pyramids. The temples of Luxor, Karnak, Edfu, Kom Ombo, Dendera, Abydos, Philae, and Abu Simbel reveal a civilization whose artistic vision knew almost no limits. Massive columns rise like forests of stone, covered with intricate hieroglyphs that continue telling stories after thousands of years. Every relief, every sculpture, and every painted ceiling reflects extraordinary attention to detail, reminding us that these sacred spaces were built not simply to impress, but to honor the relationship between humanity, nature, and the divine. The Valley of the Kings carries us into another remarkable chapter of Egyptian history. Hidden beneath the desert hills, elaborately decorated tombs preserve colorful scenes that still appear astonishingly vivid despite the passing of more than 3,000 years. Walking through these underground corridors feels less like visiting an archaeological site and more like stepping directly into the beliefs and imagination of one of history's greatest civilizations. Beyond the monuments, Egypt surprises travelers with landscapes of extraordinary diversity. The endless Sahara reveals breathtaking worlds sculpted entirely by nature. In the White Desert, towering chalk formations create landscapes so surreal they resemble another planet. Nearby, the Black Desert offers dramatic volcanic scenery, while Crystal Mountain sparkles beneath the desert sun like a hidden jewel waiting to be discovered. Scattered across this immense wilderness, peaceful oases such as Siwa remind us that life has always found ways to flourish, even under the harshest conditions. Palm groves, natural springs, fertile gardens, and ancient traditions continue thriving where survival once seemed impossible. These hidden sanctuaries offer a quieter, more intimate side of Egypt that many travelers never experience, but never forget once they do. Along the country's eastern shores, another completely different world unfolds. The Red Sea coastline reveals vibrant coral reefs, crystal-clear waters, and marine ecosystems among the richest anywhere on Earth. Sharm el-Sheikh, Hurghada, Dahab, El Gouna, and Marsa Alam each showcase a different face of Egypt's coastal beauty. Beneath the surface, colorful coral gardens shelter sea turtles, dolphins, graceful rays, countless tropical fish, and even the rare dugong. These underwater landscapes remind us that Egypt's natural heritage is every bit as extraordinary as its archaeological treasures. Far to the northeast, the rugged mountains of Sinai invite reflection rather than admiration alone. Here, sacred traditions shared by billions of people intertwine with dramatic landscapes shaped over hundreds of millions of years. Mount Sinai continues welcoming pilgrims before dawn, while St. Catherine's Monastery quietly preserves priceless manuscripts and centuries of spiritual history beneath towering granite cliffs. Equally inspiring are the people who continue shaping Egypt today. Across bustling Cairo, peaceful Nubian villages, vibrant Mediterranean neighborhoods, Bedouin camps, fishing communities, and fertile Nile farmlands, generations continue preserving traditions that connect modern life with an ancient past. Egyptian hospitality remains one of the country's greatest treasures. Whether sharing tea beneath desert stars, welcoming visitors into family-owned cafes, or guiding travelers through ancient temples, the warmth of its people leaves an impression just as lasting as the monuments themselves. Perhaps that is what makes Egypt truly unforgettable. It is not simply a place where history survives behind museum glass. It is a country where the past continues living alongside the present. Ancient temples overlook modern cities. Traditional feluccas still sail the Nile beneath contemporary bridges. Markets filled with fragrant spices operate within sight of monuments built thousands of years ago. Every generation adds another layer to a story that has never truly ended. For photographers, Egypt offers endless visual masterpieces. For historians, it preserves one of humanity's richest cultural records. For adventurers, it offers deserts, mountains, coral reefs, and hidden valleys waiting to be explored. For dreamers, it remains a land where myths, legends, and reality blend together so naturally that separating them often becomes impossible. Perhaps the greatest lesson Egypt teaches is that true greatness is never measured only by size or power. It is measured by legacy. The builders of the pyramids never imagined that people from every corner of the globe would still stand in awe of their achievements thousands of years later. The priests who carefully carved hieroglyphs onto temple walls could never have known that their messages would one day be read again after centuries of silence. The architects who aligned temples with the movements of the sun and stars created monuments that continue inspiring scientists, artists, and travelers alike. As our final moments in Egypt unfold, the sun begins one last descent across the Nile Valley. Golden light washes gently over ancient columns, weathered statues, quiet villages, and endless desert dunes. The river continues its timeless journey toward the Mediterranean, just as it has for countless generations. Palm trees sway gently in the evening breeze, while the distant call to prayer echoes across cities that have witnessed thousands of years of human history. Although our documentary may be ending, Egypt's story continues with every sunrise. Archaeologists still uncover hidden tombs beneath the sands. Historians continue deciphering forgotten inscriptions. Marine scientists explore untouched coral reefs, while travelers arrive each day to experience the same sense of wonder that has captivated visitors for centuries. Some destinations are beautiful, others are historic. A few are unforgettable. Egypt is all of them at once, It is a land where every stone tells a story, every horizon reveals another wonder, and every journey leaves a lasting impression long after the adventure ends. Thank you for joining us on this incredible expedition through the wonders of Egypt. If this journey inspired your curiosity and imagination, don't forget to subscribe and continue exploring the world's most extraordinary destinations with us. Until our next adventure, keep traveling, keep discovering, and never stop wondering what incredible places still await beyond the horizon.